All right, I am seriously psyched to do this interview right now. I have truly one of my heroes, from wrestling back in the 80s to movies to politics, and now a guy that I truly, truly admire. And he's off the grid, which is why I'm wearing these crazy headphones, and we're doing this on some super crazy high-tech connection. Governor Jesse Ventura, how are you, sir?
Dave, I'm doing terrific. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I cannot begin to tell you the technical hurdles that we had to jump through to make this happen, but that is the proof that you truly are off the grid. So can you tell us a little bit about that, just first off?
Well, I'm off the grid. I decided to do this right after I left office as governor because I was young enough to go on an adventure, and I decided to do it. And so we ventured down here, way down south of the border, about 1,000 miles, and I bought a home that I'm an hour from pavement and an hour from electricity. And I've been living down here now off and on for going on 8 years. And now that I have this show, I may be down here permanently with not returning to the United States soon because I love it down here off the grid. I love the people where I live. And it's now the creation of my show, broadcasting back into America as opposed to looking at America from the outside looking in, as opposed to the inside looking out.
Yeah, so why does someone who has commercial success as an actor and a wrestler, and then who has political success, staggering political success actually, why do you feel that you had to go off the grid?
Well, I didn't feel I have to, but I just felt I wanted an adventure. I was turning, at the time, I had just gone over 50, and your window of opportunity and time, it got to the point, Dave, I'll give it to you blunt.
Yeah.
When you get to my age, at about 60 years old, 62 I am now, time becomes more important than money. And so that was the reason I did it. I wanted to go on the adventure, and it has been that. And now it's paid off because I have the show off the grid. And, you know, we're in a situation right now where if you criticize the U.S. government, they might kill you with a drone because they don't have to take you to court anymore. They don't have to charge you with a crime. They don't have to go through due process at all. They can just shoot you and kill you with a drone if you become a problem. So we got to keep moving down here off the grid to stay away from those drones.
Right, so this is the stuff that we talk about all the time over here, but you're actually living it. You actually felt that, I guess you have enough influence, or your voice is powerful enough that you actually felt, I assume, some sort of threat, either maybe not spoken, but just sort of unspoken. Is that fair to say?
Oh no, I never got threatened, but I was being blackballed up there. The last book tour I did, none of the networks, NBC, CBS, or ABC, would have me on. Fox won't have me on. MSNBC won't have me on. CNN has me on occasionally. So this presented an opportunity. What happened, I was doing a book tour and I saw on my schedule Larry King, and I thought, wait a minute, Larry retired. What's this? And I walked into a hotel in New York, and there was Larry King.
Yeah.
Larry said, I'm on Aura.tv. This is where you need to be. And so we started discussing it, and I explained to them, I said, well, there's a problem. I live off the grid for 4 to 5 months a year. How could I possibly do a show for you? And they said, that's not a problem. We have state-of-the-art technology. They said, as long as we got energy and as we get a clear shot at the satellite, we can do your show from anywhere in the world. And so that's how Off the Grid became the show. We thought then, let's make that the show, that we're off the grid broadcasting back to the United States. Much the same. I don't know if you're old enough to remember, but when Wolfman Jack first hit, the famous shock jock, disc jock, way before Howard Stern, the mystique about the Wolfman with all the teenage kids, I remember it, was that they wouldn't let the Wolfman broadcast from the United States, so he had to broadcast from Mexico into the United States. And that's what we all believed as teenagers about the Wolfman. So I'm just kind of using the old Wolfman Jack thing here. I'm going outside the country for real and broadcasting back in.
All right, well, so let's talk about that, though, the heart of why you're outside of the country. I mean, I think you see this country much the way I see it. It's a country that you love and you want to be better, but seems really broken right now, right?
Totally. I blame the Democrats and Republicans, both of them equally as bad as each other. They are the problem. They are not the solution. They have been in charge for 150 years now. Look at the shape we're in. I just saw statistically, Dave, the other day, a baby born when it takes its first breath of air in the United States on birth is $50,000 in debt.
Ugh.
50 grand in debt when you take your first breath of air. Who's responsible for this? The Democrats and Republicans. They've been in charge for 150 years. They've destroyed our country, and we've got to take it back from them.
Yeah, so speaking of taking it back, so you were someone that you started taking it back because you, as an independent at the time, became governor of Minnesota, which in retrospect, does that almost seem crazy to you that that actually worked? Because now it almost seems like we could never have an independent.
Not true at all. I proved that it does work, and we only raised $300,000, Dave,
Yeah.
in '98 to elect me governor. 300 grand. I actually made more money being governor than what I spent to get it. I don't think there's another elected official nationally who can make that statement in 50 years
Yeah.
that they made more money doing the job than what they spent to get it. No, it could happen. I'll tell you right now. I'll make you bold. Here we are on Dave's program. I'll give you a bold prediction,
Let's
Dave.
do it. Let's do
if
it.
If I could get ballot access in all 50 states, and if I were guaranteed to be allowed in the debates, I would be your next president in 2016.
Listen, I'm with you. You have my support. I'll do everything I can. All right, so I want to talk about some of the other more fun stuff. Let's get out of politics for a minute.
Sure.
I just watched The Running Man this week, and at the beginning of it, there is this preamble where they talk about what America is going to be like in 2017, and it's about a militarized state and an economic collapse and depleted natural resource. And I'm watching this thinking they're just 3 years off because it's basically happening now. Did you realize that movie? Although we don't have reality jail just yet, but I think we probably will, reality TV jail. Did you realize that movie was going to be so ahead of its time?
No, really, I didn't. You know, it was a fun movie to do with Richard Dawson and Arnold and all that because the premise of the show. Do you know who actually wrote The Running Man? Are you aware of that?
You know what? I did my research before and I don't remember offhand. Tell me, please.
Well, here's the deal. The Running Man was a short story written in a book by a writer named Richard Bachman. Well, that was a pseudonym for Stephen King. Stephen King wrote The Running Man.
Is that right? I can't believe it. You know what? When I was doing research before I watched it again the other day, I would have sworn it was a Philip K. Dick because that was all his future and
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope, Stephen King. Stephen King wrote under the pseudonym of Richard Bachman, and he wrote The Running Man. And what it is, it's a game show of the future. Well, with reality TV like it is today, and when you look at where we're at right now, in 2017, The Running Man might be real. That's 3 years away.
Yeah, it really, between ratings and our for-profit prisons, which we already have, it definitely is a possibility. So I got to ask you, when you did that movie and you did Predator, both with Arnold Schwarzenegger, did you have a political talk? Did you ever say, hey, you know what, maybe we'll be governors one day? What do you think?
Not a bit. You know, when we did Predator, in fact, I did Predator, and Arnold came up to me on the set and said, Jesse, my next film, The Running Man, there's a part you're perfect for. I hope you will do it. Well, when you deal with Hollywood, when the star of the film wants you in his film, it gives you great leverage on negotiating.
Yeah. That's a
There's
little
the first
Hollywood.
thing to learn. When the star wants you in the film, that means you've got some leverage when it comes time to negotiate. And believe me, I exploited that leverage.
Well, speaking of leverage, did you get to keep the gun? Literally the coolest gun probably in the history of filmmaking. Did they let you keep it?
No, not at all. That's the helicopter minigun.
Oh.
I was the first person in Predator to shoot it handheld. It shoots 7,000 rounds a minute, I think, something like that. It's a Gatling gun is what it is, and I was shooting a full ammo load. It didn't kick that much. It just torqued to the left a little because the barrels swing counterclockwise. But the unique thing about the gun is it's electronically fired. There's no trigger. They would run battery cables up my pants leg and out and splice it into the weapon, and then there'd be a guy in the bushes, and it was time for me to shoot. He'd touch the two ends to the car batteries, and I'd start firing.
Wow, that is unbelievable. What was your classic line there? Do you remember it?
I ain't got time to bleed.
There it is. There it is. Well, I got two more things for you because I know you're busy. What do you think it was about the 80s, about that time, between the wrestling thing and the movies you did? What was so cool about the 80s that so many people, obviously myself included, have such like great nostalgia for that time?
Well, what happened was wrestling went national all of a sudden. It had been in 26 regionalized territories. It had come out of the carnival world. It had gone into the 26 regionalized territories, and all these promoters, 26 of them really were kind of like the mafia. Nobody ever crossed their lines. And then in the 80s came young Vince McMahon Jr., the son of Vince McMahon Sr. Well, he didn't owe nobody any allegiance, and he had a vision. And along with it came cable television. He started buying up cable TV, and he took wrestling national. And he took it to levels I'll never forget the night we did NBC, the first night, NBC Saturday Night Main Event.
I remember it.
Where we alternated every 3 to 4 weeks with Saturday Night Live. And the greatest one ever was the second season. They had Madonna opening up Saturday Night Live. She was red hot. We came on 3 weeks later and blew her numbers right out of the water. To this day, wrestling Saturday Night Main Event has the highest ratings for what they call a weekend special. We actually did, what was it, a 34 share?
Wow. I mean, we always think about the golden age of TV, but that really was the golden age of wrestling, although it seems to be having a pretty nice comeback. My final question for you, I'm going to end you on a big one. Who's running the show? Who's running the show? I know you're a conspiracy guy. I know you know a lot about everything. Who really, at the end of the day, is this the government? Is this the Illuminati? Who's it running the show?
You know, I can't sit, Dave, and tell you. I can tell you who's doing it. And I used to not believe in that Illuminati. I used to not believe in world government and that they were out there. But I've somewhat changed my mind now. In the investigations I've done and the things I've watched and seen, and I'm 62 years old now, it seems to me mighty strange. I don't believe that our president runs our country anymore, because the classic example was Barack Obama when he ran.
Yeah.
He said he would close Gitmo. He said he would do all of these things, and then the moment he got in office, those things were all forgotten. Our foreign policy, there's no difference in our foreign policy between George Bush and Barack Obama at all. None whatsoever. And so somebody else, and to me it's got to be the powerful money people. It's got to be the Federal Reserve and the bankers who control the money, because if you control the money, you control everything.
Yeah, well, you said what we talk about every day. Governor Ventura, truly, truly, truly an honor to talk to you. I could talk to you all day, but I know you got some other things to do off the grid. For a guy that's off the grid, you're pretty busy, I'll tell you that much.
Well, like I said, the tough part about being off the grid is every day it's 85 and sunny, Dave.
All right, not bad. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to following you, and we'll see what happens. But you've got an ally here at the Young Turks, I promise you that.
All right, very well. I appreciate the Young Turks. You guys are doing a great job. Keep up the great work. Keep them honest up there. And between all of us, we'll destroy mainstream media. How's that for a wrestling interview? Get ready, mainstream media. You're next in line. We're going to put you down next, mainstream media.